that the world through him might be saved. He that believes on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already. Because he believeth not on the name of the only begotten Son of God. And God says, and this is the condemnation, that light has come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds be reproved. But God says that he that doeth righteousness cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest that they're rotting God. Sorry. God manifested himself in the flesh. Jesus Christ was crucified. Before the foundation of the earth. It was already predestined for Jesus to be crucified. It was already predetermined that he laid down his life for us on the cross. God demonstrated his love toward you and I, and that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. God says, behold, what manner of love that the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. The only reason we're called sons of God is because he was crucified for us. He was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was laid upon Jesus when he died on the cross. And by his stripes we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. Everyone has turned to his own way, yet the Lord laid on him the iniquity of us. Surely he bore our sins on the cross. Paul the Apostle said, if our gospel be hid, it's hid from those who perish, and whom the godless world has blinded his eyes. If the gospel's hidden, it's hid from those who perish. That Satan has blinded their eyes. That's why God says today, while it is yet called today, harden not your heart against him. Don't harden your heart against the Son of God, the one who died on the cross, the one with the nail scars in his hands, the one who loves you so much that he gave himself for you on the cross. God demonstrated his love toward you and I, and that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. He died for the unthankful. He died for the ungrateful. God says, surely for a good man one might die. Jesus said with his own mouth that no greater love does any man have than that he would lay down his life for his friend. He said, you are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. He said, I no longer call you a servant, for a servant does not confide in his master. A master doesn't confide in his servants, but he says that we're his friends. Jesus calls us his friends. Jesus died on the cross to pay your way. He was wounded for your transgressions. He was bruised for your iniquities. The chastisement of your peace was laid upon Jesus, and by his stripes you are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. Everyone has turned to his own way. Everyone has turned to his own way, yet He bore our sins on the cross. Isaiah 53 says that all we like sheep have gone astray. Everyone has turned to his own way, yet the Lord laid on him the iniquity of us. The Father laid on Jesus our sins. He laid on Jesus on the cross. He took our sins upon himself. He who knew no sin became sin, that we who were born in sin might receive his righteousness. Paul said that the preaching of the cross is foolishness to those who perish, but to those that are won to the Lord, it's the power of God unto salvation. To those who come to the Lord, it's the power of God unto salvation. He was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was laid upon him, and by his stripes we're healed. Psalm 22 was written way before there was ever such thing as crucifixion. And Psalm 22 says, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? It's Jesus' thoughts on the cross. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? He says, be not far from me, for strong bulls of Bashan have compassed about me. He says, they cast lots for my garment and my vesture. They cast lots for my garment and my vesture. They pierced my hands and my feet. They gape upon me, he says. They cry out, he trusted in the Lord to deliver him. See, let him deliver him, seeing he delighteth in him. Psalm 22 is Jesus' thoughts on the cross. Psalm 22 is Jesus' thoughts on the cross, and it was written way before there was such thing as crucifixion. He was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our eternal peace was laid upon Jesus, and by his stripes we are healed. Paul said that the preaching of the cross is foolishness to those who perish, but to those that are won to the Lord, it's the power of God unto salvation, to those that believe. Do you believe in the Son of God, the one that was crucified for you? Do you believe in Jesus? Do you know that faith is a substance of things hoped for,